What is going on, guys? John with the PBFit, and today I'm bringing you a loader review. And this time it just so happens to be the Virtue Spire. So the Virtue Spire has been out for a while now. I've had mine for over 2 years now, and honestly, it is just one of those loaders that you can always go to and know that you can rely on it. It's just a really great loader backed by a fantastic company. In my Living Legends video, I said that my back plates were broken, and I need to go get them fixed because I haven't used my Spires in a while. Guess what? They fixed them both for free, no questions asked, right there on the spot, and I got to use them at Living Legends. And I'm not gonna lie, like, Virtue, I gotta say, has literally the best customer service out of any company that I've ever had to deal with so far. Empire's a pretty close second, but literally Virtue, I mean, bar none, probably the best paintball company out there right now when it comes to customer service. And their loader is nothing to laugh at either. The Virtue Spire, I can honestly say, is maybe one of the most popular loaders, if not the most popular loader out there right now on the market. I mean, you see everybody has one. You know, it used to be the rotor at one point because the rotor was just, you know, leaps and bounds ahead of the competition, but then this came out. So this weighs about 1.2 pounds, so it's only about 0.05 pounds heavier than the TFX. The TFX obviously has less batteries than this, but still, you know, extremely light loader, sits really low on the feed neck. Not quite as low as the TFX though, because if you look right here, let me see if we can focus on this. You can kind of see it kind of curves a little bit right there. So when it curves, it doesn't quite sit as flat as the TFX does, which is kind of a bummer because the TFX sits nice and flat on the marker. Now, what this does have the TFX beat in is its width. It is extremely narrow, and as you can tell, it's really streamlined, really pointed at the tip, so it allows it to be have a really small profile, which is really nice, especially when you're snap shooting and whatnot. So, and it holds about 200 paintballs, which is absolutely amazing. Now, it comes with a regular like rain lid, but you could also buy speed feeds for it, and I just happen to have the Virtue spring fingers here, or the SF, because it's the SF crown or whatever, because it's absolutely amazing. This is literally the best speed feed you can buy for your hopper. It does not get better than this. They literally always go back into place. They feed everything and nothing comes out. It's crazy. And you know, they just don't break. I mean, I've never had them break. I've never had an issue with it. Back in the day, especially with the old dye speed feeds, those things got torn up. These I do not have a problem with at all, and they're absolutely amazing. And I wish that like they made them for every single hopper out there, because I mean, they should literally be on every hopper. They're that great. So now let's get to the nitty gritty. Like, how do you take the Virtue Spire apart? Well, it's extremely easy. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and, so right now it's in the lock position. Let's go ahead and zoom in real quick. So as you can see, it's on the lock position right now, which is down. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and pop it up, right? So now it is on the unlock position. When it's in the unlock position, all you gotta do is push in the button here and grab the top lid and pull it right off. And that's it. That easy. And the tray comes out with one fell swoop. There's like a little button right here. You're gonna pull with it, and then slide it right out, and the whole tray comes out. And you can literally wash this underwater, whatever you wanna do with it, just clean it out. And it's that easy. Now, this is where Virtue kind of gets you. So this, as far as I know, does not come with your hopper. This is extra, okay? As well as the speed feed is extra, and it is freaking expensive. You don't have to get this speed feed. It's like 45 bucks, I think, but it's literally the best speed feed out there, but it's freaking pricey. But neither does this. This is only 10 bucks. And this is essentially the drivetrain, the cone. Now you could just pull this cone off to clean it in here, but the only thing that sucks is that the balls feed from under here, right? So it has to travel through. So if you get a break, so I broke a ton of paint in here once, which is why it's kind of yellowish and gross, but stained. But anyways, so paint broke in there, and then it was down in here, so I had a hardest time like cleaning up in here and wiping it out and all this other crap and blah blah, and it sucked. Now the original rotor, you take that thing apart, you could literally take apart every piece so easily. You can get to every nitty-gritty piece, and that's what I loved about it. This one, not so much. Is it easy to clean? Yes, it is. Is it easy to clean as the original rotor? And actually the R2? No, it is not. But it is a great loader nonetheless. It takes 3 AA batteries, which are held in pretty nice and snug by this. I've never had an issue with them popping out or anything like that. If you did want to clean the inside of this, you would have to unscrew these screws, which I don't want to have to do. I want it to be completely toolless. So that's one of my gripes with it. And as well as this cone, I'm not a huge fan of the cone. I just never have been. I don't know. I just don't think that the Spire feeds that great. But does it feed fast enough for a speedball? Heck yeah, it does. I mean, look at all the top teams out there. What are they using? They're using a Spire. So does it feed fast enough? Yeah. I just don't like, you know, the original popcorn. And sometimes, you know, even though you update it, it still kind of does like a weird popcorning thing. But all the balls do get fed in here, and honestly, it's probably one of the most reliable hoppers out there. It's not going to crunch up the paintballs. You're not going to have any issues with it, you know, getting jammed. The only time I had it jam is because the Spire doesn't feed with force. So when I broke paint in here, it got all gunky and nasty, so the Spire would not feed with broken paint. So that's the only issue I've had. And yeah, people are like, your Spire jammed? I'm like, yeah, dude, my Spire freaking jammed because I had broken balls in there and it was just goopy and nasty, and it just wouldn't feed. I mean, the Spire essentially comes apart in 3 pieces. I mean, it's that simple. And now to put it back together, you're just going to take this piece and kind of dive it in like this and drop it in. All right, now it's in there. And then you're going to go ahead and line up these little tabs. Should be 3 tabs. And then pull down the lock button, and then it's good to go. Well, now, another issue I had. These 3 tabs on the back, I've had them break off before because of storage, whatever. They crack off, and then your lid will fall off when you dive, so I've had that issue as well. I'm not sure if they address that. Probably get stronger plastic, or I just need to be smarter and not stow it away stupid in my bag. But, you know, other than that, it's a fantastic loader, super awesome. And the best thing about it is the 260. Now, if you look at it, the 260 is not much bigger than the 200. I usually only play with the 260 unless it's on my pump. And yes, I use a Spire in my pump during big games because I want to hold as much paint as possible. Everyone's like, Spire on your pump, dude? What the hell? You're idiot. Fine, I'll take it. But it's a really good loader. It's lightweight. I like how it sits on my pump. I like the way I play with it on my pump. So yes, I use my Spire on my pump. But this, as far as breakouts, 260 paintballs, I'm telling you, it makes a difference on the breakout. You're still shooting that lane. You're still shooting paint on the people across the field. Whereas the people with normal 200 paintballs, you know, they got to reload, whatever. So, I mean, the 260 paintballs, I mean, it is an advantage. And honestly, I would just roll the 260 because this is not that much different, you know? So, if it were me, which it is, I went ahead and bought 260, but I already had a 200. Hindsight 2020, I'd just buy 260. It's still tiny. It holds 60 more paintballs, and it's still incredibly lightweight. So that's what I would do, especially if you're playing speedball. Even in the woods, you hold 60 more paintballs. I would just go with this, honestly. But you could buy this shell. It's not too expensive. I want to say I paid like $65 for it or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Go to their website. But it is definitely a worthwhile purchase to play with the 260 unless you want a really small profile like this, like if you're a snake player or something like that. But, you know, that's about it as far as the Spire goes. It's a really great loader. You know, you can program it and stuff. I don't want to mess with it. You can increase. Well, what I had to do is I had to mess with it once. Is I had to increase the sensitivity because it was on my Lux initially. So it wasn't registering my Lux because Luxes are smooth as butter. So I had to increase sensitivity, and that's about it. And then it worked perfectly fine. If you're looking for a hopper, don't hesitate to buy a Spire. Literally the best customer service on maybe in the market right now, but definitely the best customer service as far as, you know, hoppers go or whatever. Because, I mean, they'll fix it no matter what. I mean, pretty much it breaks, they'll fix it for free. It doesn't matter. No questions asked, no receipts, nothing. They'll fix it. But is it my favorite hopper? No. The TFX still reigns king in my opinion. I just love the way it works. I love the way the drivetrain is, and it sits nice and flat right on the marker as compared to this. Since the feed neck's kind of curved up, you know, it's like curved a little bit. Doesn't sit completely flat, which is kind of to me. But you know, it sits fine enough, and it is a fantastic, reliable hopper backed by a great company. So if you're looking at one, like I said, go ahead and buy one. Well, that's it for the Spire review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got any suggestions or comments, go ahead and post below. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and like this video, or dislike it if you thought it sucked. All right, thanks, guys. I hope to talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.